I'm Sara Young. I'm the Nuisance Wildlife and Cat Guard Coordinator. I was born in Maine, and I lived there until high school, and then I lived in a tiny little town in the middle of nowhere, Gloversville, which is in Fulton County, until I moved to Albany about 5 years ago. Big transition moving from Maine to New York, even though I lived in a smaller town, because I lived on a cattle farm in the middle of nowhere. So that was a big transition. Never boring. Interesting, good and bad. You have stress, but you also have a lot of fun. It's like a family though. You know, like when you get together with your family, you kind of go, oh God, I gotta make food, I gotta go sit through the whole day, and then you get there and you get laughing and busting, and it's just fun. I'm definitely snarky and quirky, so that fits right in. I mean, obviously I have my position, which is making sure that all of the trappers get scheduled and the construction gets scheduled. But aside from all of that, I think that I have a role here in the business with just kind of making sure everything flows smooth. I think a lot of things get thrown my way, and you just kind of have to, I call it plate spinning. You have to kind of be on the ball all the time because you never know what you're going to encounter. To tell you the truth, I always thought that I would, when I was a little kid, I thought I would stay in Maine and work like I grew up, which was on a farm, which is kind of funny to think about now. But, and then as I got older, I honestly wasn't sure. I just always wanted to live someplace tropical, which didn't happen, so.
Do you have aspirations?
Thanks for making me remember. None of my dreams have come true, but that's okay. Going, you know, years ahead, many, many years, believe it or not. Into retirement, I will definitely not live where there's winter. Not yet, just got engaged.
That's cool.
Coming soon. I met him online, believe it or not. Yeah, on the wacky website. That's what it was called.
That's called wacky website?
No, it's not, but it should have been because he's nuts. Oh, he did that here at the office, so that was super special. He showed up at the end of a work day, and I thought it was kind of weird. He was coming through the door at that time because a lot of times he'll come for lunch, but he'll tell me. So he showed up here at the office with flowers, which it was just strange because it was like 4:30 in the afternoon. And I'm like opening the flowers to put them in a vase, and then I see people just like starting to gather, and I look and he was like kneeling right next to me with a ring asking me to marry him. Actually, Sean was filming it on his phone, so as Craig's asking me to marry him, I look and all I see is Sean with his iPhone. And then everyone's like, well, are you gonna answer him? So, a little off kilter. We're both see humor in the same exact things. Probably one of the funniest things that ever happened to me was a woman that we trapped for chipmunks for, who seriously, I had to somehow explain to her in the most professional manner that chipmunks don't have a sense of reasoning and they can't read. She thought that we trapped for chipmunks, and we caught some the first couple in the cages, but then they disappeared and they came back after we went away, a week or so after we stopped trapping, because they knew we were there taking away their friends because it said Catseye on the truck. And they hid at the neighbor's house until we didn't come back anymore. And then they knew it was safe, so they came back to her deck. And people are just like, oh, you work at Catseye? You know, what's that like? And the first thing that I always tell people is that it's fun. Asking questions about the commercials. That's always a big topic because that's obviously how people know about us, as they see all of our crazy commercials on TV. And it always feels good to me to be able to say that those commercials are done in-house by, you know, a great group of very creative people. They just sit all day long and they just like think of new ideas and they try them out, and people are usually pretty amazed to find out that we do those things for the most part right here, that we don't hire out to do that. You know, and it's always when you see Zach run through with the camera and then you have an immediate 10-second flashback of, oh my God, what was I doing for the last 10 seconds? And sometimes the answer is just, you're like mortified and you're like, oh my God, please don't let that be on film. Fruitcake. Nutty. No, I don't know. I'm always very silly. I think that I always like to see the funny part of everything. So I usually turn 90% of everything that happens into a joke.
Are you a beer or a wine drinker?
Beer. Beer. The hump day. Camel. Hump day. Whoop whoop.